Hello, I'm Kay Havens and I'm here today with the University of California Cooperative Extension Master Gardeners teaching you how to begin composting. It's a very basic process that everybody can accomplish given a little bit of room in their backyard. Basically what you need is a 3-foot by 3-foot area with access to a hose. You're probably not going to want to put it by the front door, so look around your garden and find a place that's not too hot, not too cold, where you can site something like this. This is a very simple wire bin put together for less than $20 using hardware cloth, 1x2s, and some eye bolts. Really, really very easy. When you start, you also have to think about working in the area. So you're not going to want to have it right up next to a wall because you're going to be using a fork to turn it, and you're going to want to have a little room to be able to do so. So think about that. Don't have things so squeezed together that you can't operate in the area. Now then, what composts? Well, in order to get started, you're going to have to gather your material. You're going to need brown material and green material. Brown material is anything from your garden that's basically kind of brown. It can be leaves, straw, chipped branches. It can be shredded cardboard if you live in an urban environment. You're also going to need green material, and this is green waste from your garden. Can be some chopped up clippings from your salads, and what you want to do is make sure that you chop it down into 1 and 2 inch pieces. We also have grass clippings here, which are wonderfully high in nitrogen. But you have to be careful when you use these materials that you mix them together well. In addition, we also have our favorite Starbucks pucks, which break up into a wonderful high nitrogen material. Quirkily, coffee grounds are a green. Green materials are high in nitrogen. Brown materials are high in carbon. And your compost bin needs both, because the bacteria and fungi that break things down need nitrogen to build their little bodies, and they need carbon to act as their carbohydrate source. So when you get started, you're going to want to have equal volumes going into your compost bin. A bucket of greens, a bucket of browns. Kind of mush your browns down a little bit. And I'm going to show you in just a couple minutes how we're going to get that started. Okay, so here we are. We're going to show you how to start a compost bin from the bottom up. Remember how I was talking about your brown and green materials. Next, we're going to pretend this is your compost bin. It would probably be something like the wire bin or one of the other bins we'll show you later. But you're going to want to have large quantities of green materials and brown materials right near your bin because you're going to be doing a lot of building. We're going to be working in 4-inch layers from the bottom all the way to the top. And when you get your act together, it will go relatively quickly. So we're going to show you the first layer and then think about repeating that over and over again until your compost bin is 3 or 3.5 or 4 feet high, because remember, we want a 3-foot by 3-foot by 3-foot bin. So from the beginning, you're going to start with your green materials. Remember, they've been chopped up. We want them, for the UCCE hot method, we want them 1 to 2 inches in size so that they'll digest quickly. You're going to want about a 5-gallon bucket of your greens. You're going to want about a 5-gallon bucket of your browns. And what you're going to do in that first 4 inches is you're going to get something like a garden fork, and you're going to mix them all together until you can't tell the browns from the greens. If you're using grass, it's very important to break it up because it wants to mat, and that is not going to help your compost pile digest it. So mix, mix, mix until it has a uniform look. Then this is kind of dry. In order for your bacteria and your fungi to get to work, it has to be as moist as a well-wrung out sponge. So you're going to have to water this quite a bit. Now you can't just water the top. You water the top, but then you have to again take your fork and mix it in and make sure that that water is well incorporated into that 4-inch layer until it glistens. You don't want it so wet that when you were to squeeze it, you would actually get water out, but you want it to be consistently moist throughout so that the fungi and bacteria can get to work. So then you'll have your first 4-inch layer. Repeat, repeat, repeat until you have your compost bin ready to go. And we'll show you some that we've got going here in just a minute.